Halo.
Hey up lads and lasses, Fletch here from Ultimate Halo, and I'll be real with you all, I have a lot of love for Halo Infinite's campaign. It's the open world, the story, the characters and the aesthetic that glue together to make it up there, one of my favourite campaigns. But that doesn't mean that there aren't opportunities that this game missed, and that is what we are going to discuss in today's video. But before we continue, a huge shout out to OpenGX for sponsoring today's video. As well as being a beautiful browser, I'm sure we're all aware that Halo Infinite isn't the best running game on PC right now, so what's great for this is GX Control. In here we have a network limiter that restricts how much data your browser uses, as well as a RAM and CPU cap, so it gives more power to your gaming experience, meaning you've got a smoother game overall. Something else I love is the accessibility bar on the left hand side. It allows you to access your Discord, Messenger, WhatsApp, and even get your Twitch alerts for all your favourites when they're online, or even your own alerts when you are streaming. Love your music? Well, go to GX Player where you can have up to 3 music accounts logged in for Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music and more, all at the same time. If you also decide to watch a video, it'll automatically pause when you play and resume the music when you're done watching your video. And also now available is Opera GX Mobile. It keeps you up to date with all the latest game releases, much like the website version. It's a beautiful browser and you can connect it to your desktop browser at any time too. And the best part about all of this is it's all completely free, so I do implore you guys, please go to the link in the description, install it, give it a go, see if it improves your performance or see if you enjoy these features, and I'd love for you to let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed it. And once again, thank you so much to OpenGX for sponsoring today's video. Now the first pick on this list is wildlife. Now Halo has had a very strange history with interactive wildlife throughout many of its games, and it starts off with Halo Combat Evolved, which were ultimately cut, but in the pre-release demo in 1999 we see both the Blind Wolves and the Thorn Beasts. These things look awesome. It's a real shame that it wasn't included not only in Halo Combat Evolved but any other game after that. And then it actually took us till Halo Reach to get some truly interactive enemy wildlife, which were the Gueta. These things were massive and intimidating and honestly a hell of a lot of fun to play against if you ask me. And then the Moa, they were just kind of dumb. They're now kind of a meme in the Halo community. Yes, looking at you Moa Pringles, but I wouldn't have it any other way, and I think Halo Infinite has such a huge opportunity to dabble in this. One way I would implement them is have various different species appear at different times of day. Look, we know Halo Infinite has a day and night cycle, so why not utilize that and really flesh out the world? Because I find once you've done all the outposts and all the little things to unlock and objectives throughout the game, it starts to feel a little bit barren. So what you could do is, let's say, have nighttime animals that stalk you through the trees, for example, and make it feel really intimidating to go around the ring. And then you can have very specific fights during the night and also ones during the day with different types of animals, maybe flying animals, who knows. There's so many opportunities here that I think Halo should really tap into, and if these were added in future DLC, I would be a very happy man. But let me know what you think should be happening in that front, and leave a comment what your favourite animal in Halo is. So the next big opportunity on this list I feel was a big miss was the Arbiter story in Halo Infinite. Now I understand it trying to simplify the story, but the Arbiter has become such a crucial part of Halo lore at this point that I do think it is just such a huge shame. Now, as I'm sure many of you remember, at the end of Halo 5, both Fireteam Osiris and Blue Team went to Sanghelios to rendezvous with the Arbiter. It was a shame we didn't really see much, if any, interaction here at all. It was quite disappointing in fact, but that doesn't mean that no discourse took place. Now, according to Halo Bad Blood, they did reminisce about their Halo 3 days, and at the end the Arbiter says the following. "Farewell Spartan," the Arbiter said. "The two of them reached out to clasp forearms." And he says, "When we first met, we were enemies, fighting to end each other. Now as allies, I am confident we can face this new threat together once more." John replies, "Thank you." He was never much for words, says Buck. At this point, Blue Team and Osiris went their separate ways to go to the Infinity, but we aren't quite sure just yet what is happening to the Arbiter, so I think there is definitely some room for Halo Infinite to expand upon this. There is a lot of internal politics between the Sanghelia at the minute, so it would be interesting to go into that, but I feel like that's probably a place for a book, and I feel like expanding the Arbiter story and his journey with the Master Chief would be a great idea for DLC, whilst keeping it simple enough for newer players to understand. Okay, next up we have 343 Guilty Sparks Return. Now, unfortunately, this does not look like something that is going to be on the cards anymore, and he's had quite a nice rounded character arc thanks to the latest book, Halo Point of Light. Now, Point of Light, for a start, is just an excellent book, and if you listen to the audiobook that has Tim Dadabo actually voicing Guilty Spark and narrating it, it's brilliant. Please go check it out. But what happens is it does quite nicely round off his character arc, and he goes essentially to another galaxy far away to populate some more precursor seeds. This is quite exciting because if Halo wants to go in a different direction in the future and spin off completely, I think there's another sort of story arc somewhere else, but I think it's kind of supposed to be one of these things. He's gone now. He's not coming back. He's so far away, it's not inconceivable how he could ever come back, which I think is a shame, but I think it would be great, him, the Chief and the Arbiter, back together again, especially after what happened after him killing Johnson in Halo 3. The dynamic there would have been a great mix of tension, also nostalgia, and also them three knowing they need each other to make it through to their next challenge. So it's sad that he's probably not coming back, but hey, we can always wish. Okay, so for my penultimate pick, we have seeing what state Earth colonies were in post Halo 5. Now, don't get me wrong, I love being on Zeta Halo. Seeing the classic Forerunner architecture is just absolute chef kiss, and I love it dearly. But we have to remember at the same time that Cortana had quite a strong stranglehold on quite a lot of the life on the galaxy, whether it's humanity, the Sangheili, Jiralhanai, Ungoi, all of them were under her control to some extent. Then in one of the interactive cutscenes in Halo Infinite, we do see Cortana blow up Sydney, which is the capital of the UEG, with one of the Guardians, and kind of seeing what the aftermath and the humanity's reaction would be to that would be such a great opportunity. Not that I think they can't go back and revisit that, because I think the galaxy has still a lot to rebuild and there's still a hell of a lot going on, but I would like to see more human colonies shown off in new Halo games, because I think Halo Reach did a fantastic job of that, and I kind of want to get back to at least some missions having that grittiness and that boots on the ground kind of feeling like Halo Reach did. And whilst I'm happy with the setting of Halo Infinite, I think sometimes, as many fans have already iterated already, a bit of variety helps, whether it's biomes or just going to different planets in general. Okay, last but certainly not least is something that I feel like is very synonymous with the Zeta Halo, and it's the Flood, the Palace of Pain, and ancient human stuff. So for those of you who read the Forerunner trilogy books, I'm not going to retread the entire thing. It's long, it's drawn out, but there's lots of cool stuff in there. One, the Flood just have to come back. Now, I'm going to kind of make a video talking about why I don't think they're back in a future video, so stay tuned for that. But honestly, there's so many missed opportunities here. The Flood could have entirely changed the biome of the ring, the look of the ring, the feel of the ring. They add a certain tension to the games that just no game has had since Halo 3. Then the Palace of Pain is where essentially the primordial and medicant bias brought ancient humans to basically torture and suffer them just for the fun of it. And honestly, it's such a creepy thought when it's explained, and if we got to see that in a game, that would just be absolutely insanity. And it is also a shame there's a lack of ancient human architecture, because there were a lot of human settlements on the ring. Of course, time has probably taken its toll on everything that was there, but I think that opportunity should still have been visited in some form or another. But look, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think in terms of what was a missed opportunity in Halo Infinite's campaign. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this game to pieces in the campaign front, but I'm curious to know what you guys think. But once again, my name is Jack Fletcher, and I will see you next time on the one and the only Ultimate Halo.
Subscribe now to Ultimate Halo for more unfriggin' believable Halo content.